All right, gentlemen, this is a quick review from what we studied in class today, which is simplifying radicals. So I want to first remind you what perfect squares we're going to look for when we're trying to simplify our radical. The first one is what in the radicand is the radicand even, okay? If it is even, then we're going to see if 4 is a factor. Is 4 a factor? Okay? Is 4 a factor? If what is in the radical, or the radicand, if the radicand is odd, I want you to look and see if 9 is a factor. Sorry, my writing's so icky, I cannot find a stylus right now. All right? Next one is the radicand. Okay, the value in the radical. Does it end in a 5 or a 0? If it does, see if 25 is a factor. All right, and last, if it is an odd number, pretty big odd number, and 9 didn't go in, you checked 9 already, see if 49 works. See if 49 is a factor. So for the purpose of this section, for this class, these are the 4 perfect squares that I want you to check to see if you can simplify your radical. Is 4 a factor, 9, 25, or 49? And these are the clues that are going to help you determine which one of those you're going to check. Okay? All right. So next, let's do an example. We have, let's do radical 80x to the 5th. All right? So, as we always do, we're going to deal with the coefficients separately than the factor. Than the variable. Okay? We're going to do the coefficient first. So let's factor our coefficient. It is even. It also ends in 0. So I take a quick look and I can't get a 25 out of 80 evenly, but I can get a 4. So I'm going to go ahead and cross out my 80, and I'm going to write 4 is in there, and what's left is 20. Then I ask myself, am I done? I say, no, I'm not, because 20 has another 4 in there with a 5 left over. Now I'm done. Okay, I can't factor this anymore. 5 doesn't have a perfect square in it. So now I look at my variable. And the key is, when you're doing square root, all you need is an even number exponent. Okay? Again, all you need is an even number exponent. So I'm going to factor x to the 5th into x to the 4th times x, or x to the 1st. All right? Now, I'm going to go, and I factored that, so I cross them off. Now I'm going to go from left to right, and I'm going to simplify what I can. I'm going to execute the square root on whatever I can. So the square root of 4 is 2, so that comes out as a 2. Square root of this 4 is a 2, so that's times 2 here. This 5 right here is going to stay in the radical. The square root of this, x to the 4th, is x squared. If you have trouble remembering that, think about your rules of exponents, okay? What times itself is going to give me x to the 4th? Well, when I multiply like bases, I add the exponents, right? So x squared times x squared is x to the 4th. And then this last x here, he's got to stay in, because there's no square root of x there. All right? So now I have to finish up. 2 times 2 is 4, x squared, radical 5x. That is my final answer. So 80x to the 5th, the square root of 80x to the 5th, is simplified as 4x squared radical 5x. All right, let's do one more. We're going to start with -2 radical 243 y to the 3rd. Okay? So I'm going to extend my radical here. I'm going to work with my coefficient first, my 243. And I'm going to say that's odd. I'm going to check to see if a 9 works. Now, if you've got to go off to the side here and say, does 9 go into 243? Just go ahead and do it, okay? 9 goes into 24 2 times. I get 18. Okay? Leaves me a 6 left over. Bring down a 3. I know that goes in evenly. 7. So, cross out my 243 and I say 9, perfect square, times 27. I'm not done. 27 has another 9 in it, right? So that's going to be 9 times 3 now. Now I'm done because 3 doesn't have anything left in it. Now I have to do this y cubed, so I cross him off. I take the highest even number, which is y squared, and then the y that's left. Okay? Now I'm going to go from left to right. Here I go. Negative 2 was already out there. It stays. Square root of this 9 is 3. Square root of this 9 is 3. This 3 here has to stay in. Okay? This y squared comes out as a y. The square root of y squared is y. And this y stays in. So now negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. Times 3 is negative 18. Y. Then radical 3y. And I'm done. The simplified expression of my original negative 2 radical 243y cubed is equal to negative 18y radical 3y. Alright, I hope those examples help. Again, what we want to do is look for the perfect squares 4, 9, 25, or 49. Okay? Factor out that coefficient first, then deal with a variable if you have one. Okay? Good luck with your homework. See you in class tomorrow.